All right, let's get this straight. When most people think of 3D printing, they imagine a little machine buzzing away, melting plastic spaghetti into layer cakes. Line by line, filament printing. I've run Bamboo Lab X1 carbons for a while now. And yeah, they're rock solid. Great for desk toys, rugged prototypes, and the kind of stuff you hand to clients with a grin. But at a certain point, filament hits a wall. That wall? Detail. Precision. Tolerances so tight, your caliper needs a double take. And no matter how much you tweak that nozzle, filament is still drawing with a crayon. What if you want to paint with light? That's where resin steps in. More specifically, this thing, the Formlabs Form 4L. This is not just a printer. It's a monolith. It showed up on my doorstep like it was about to ask for clearance codes. Reinforced box, thick foam, built-in straps to help lift it. Like Formlabs knew this thing was going to give your back a challenge. And they were right. 129 pounds of pure engineering. If you're under 6 feet or haven't been hitting the gym, bring a friend. Or two. Now, unboxing this beast is an experience. Pull the lid off and it's like you've unlocked a vault. Massive resin tank. Seriously, you could deep fry a chicken in this thing. Then comes the build platform. Wider than some laptops, sturdy enough to bench press. And every accessory? Tucked away with a purpose. Scrapers, gloves, filters, each one ready for action. Once it's out and standing proud on your workspace, there's a moment where you just stare. Because this isn't your average machine. This is design done right. Everything slides into place with a satisfying click. Resin tank? Drops in like it was made just for your hand. Mixer? Snaps in. Platform? Glides in like a sword sliding into its sheath. It's not just easy, it's elegant. You don't set this printer up. You assemble it like a piece of high-end audio gear or a mechanical watch. Now, let's get nerdy, but in plain language. This isn't some janky laser dancing over resin for hours. The Form 4L uses low-force display LFD tech. Basically, it flashes an entire layer at once. Boom. Instant exposure. That means smoother prints, faster speeds, and details that make filament printers feel like they're drawing with sidewalk chalk. I loaded it with tough 2000 resin, because if I'm going to push this machine, we're not printing chess pawns. First print? A full-size wearable helmet. And when I say wearable, I mean it looked like something straight off a movie set. Crisp lines, no warping, no weird blobs or zits, just pure, clean geometry. Now here's where things get serious. This printer's build volume is insane. It's the kind of size that makes you start looking at objects differently. Could I print that? Becomes a daily thought. I printed 15 mouse shells and 6 scroll wheels in one go. And guess what? With resin printing, 1 or 15 doesn't change the print time that much. That's the beauty of printing an entire layer at once. Running 3 or 4 cycles a day, I'm hitting 60 mouse shells daily. Add a second machine and you're into full production mode. Forget prototypes. You're in manufacturing territory now. Let's talk materials. This is where Formlabs just flexes. Their resin lineup reads like a catalog for a science museum. Tough, elastic, clear, flexible, biosafe, heat-resistant, dental, industrial, you name it, they've got it. And they're not gimmicks. These resins are serious. I used the black resin for my mouse project, and the surface finish? It looked molded. Not printed, molded. Now look, we gotta talk cleanup. Resin printing has always had a rep for being messy. Sticky prints, IPA baths, UV curing. You know the drill. But Formlabs, they smoothed it out like they were sanding off the rough edges of the entire process. The Form Wash L is a dream. You pop the build plate in, press a button, and walk away. No sloshing, no dripping IPA on your socks. Then it's over to the Form Cure, which is like a UV-powered crock pot for your parts. Perfect temp, perfect timing, done. The results? Better than nylon 12 parts I've printed before. Stronger, lighter, sharper. These shells feel like they were pulled from a final production run. And guess what? I didn't have to wait on a factory, I didn't have to manage shipping, and I didn't have to cross my fingers, hoping nothing arrived warped. Okay, let's hit the big number. The Form 4L isn't for weekend warriors. At around $20,000 fully kitted, it's an investment. But for a prototyping lab, a startup, a small business doing real product dev, it's a smart investment. I did the math for my own workflow. Outsourcing just the mouse shells would have cost me more over 6 months. And the quality? Not even close. This printer isn't just a machine, it's a force multiplier. So here I am, 10 years after buying my first janky flash forge, tuning belts, scraping beds, praying to the slicer gods, and now, I've got a machine that feels like it was airdropped from a future where everyone just makes stuff in-house. The Form 4L doesn't feel like a 3D printer. It feels like the end of excuses. And if you're someone who makes things for a living, or wants to, it's a game changer. Subscribe if you want to see this beast in action more. Drop a comment and tell me the craziest thing you'd print with this much firepower. I might even make it. No promises, but no limits either. Catch you in the next one.